I was amazed at the variety of positions, from the HR stuff, the administration, the DPWs, how it all integrates. I've sort of been in my own financial niche for a long time and never really been exposed in an academic environment to all that goes into all of the other positions, and that's what this program really provided to me.
It is finance for me. It was all of the information that I just didn't have. I knew the words, and I'm learning more of them, but it was really the block of finance that brought it more together for me, and how all the pieces fit together. So that was the one. They're certainly all memorable in their own way, but that was one that for me, I learned an incredible amount of information.
I've learned a ton. There's been a lot of work, definitely a lot of work. But yeah, I've learned a lot, in the transitioning from working, running this facility day in and day out, and then sort of having the opportunity to take a step back and get back into sort of a classroom setting and see how the theory behind it, or some of the brains behind the operation, how it all sort of fits together, as opposed to just the day-to-day daily operation of running.
Well, what I thought was really unique about the course overall was not just that it provided a more professional understanding of town government, but that it really provided a lot of practical insight about how to navigate town government politically, kind of the political system. So I was really surprised that that's something that could be worked into the curriculum, and I thought it was something that was extremely valuable coming out of the course.
My experience has been tremendous. I've been truly challenged and truly inspired.
The typology. I thought, quite honestly, sorry Mike, when it started I thought, this guy's nuts. How is this relevant? The further it went along, the more interesting it became, and he's right. I really do now drive around various communities and go, oh, I know. That's from the community I grew up in, which was off Cape, to I lived in Eastham for a year before moving to Truro permanently, and then to Truro itself, and you definitely, you type them. You can't help it.
I thought all the professors were great. They all brought something different to the table. They all had their own unique style, and I really looked forward to asking questions and learning more about each individual topic from the professors, because they bring such knowledge, and they're not just these guys and gals who sort of sit behind a desk or have these giant offices that look like libraries. These are real people who work real jobs, who face or have faced the very same challenges that we face. So to have the opportunity to touch and ask those guys and gals questions is definitely helpful.
I think I benefited by taking classes with all of them. Professor Lavin does stand out as a real interesting class. The classes that he taught, very interesting, challenged me. Certainly challenged me, having not been in school for quite a long time, to rethink how I do bibliographies and things like that. But I did learn a great deal from him in the typography class.
They've all been terrific, and I feel like after 5 classes, you kind of want the 6th class. And so I think that's a good testament to them, is that you would like to see them again. And so that's the kind of thing that makes me feel like I would continue this, because I just didn't hear enough. And there's way more. We scratched the surface, and there's so much more to learn.
I think each one of them brought something different in their personalities and teaching styles. I think I took a little something different from every single one. I enjoyed the grant writing course because it was something I knew nothing about, and it was a real challenge there to really understand a concept that I had no practical experience with, seeing as I hadn't written grants before.
I think the camaraderie of the class, that's been my favorite thing. The class and the academic has been great, but meeting people from all over the Cape and off Cape, to share this time has been great, and it's going to be one of my best memories.
The networking opportunities that came with this, just to get the chance working with other folks in other positions in town government throughout the Cape, making those connections, kind of seeing the internal workings and getting some insight into how other towns function as compared to Barnstable was great, and I think a great part of the class, one of my favorites.
I think it's going to be the class, the individuals in the class, learning things from them and the different personalities. I've really enjoyed that, and I feel like, and whether they would want to hear from me, I could call any one of them and ask them a question about what they do and how they do it, and so that's really nice, and it's just a way that sometimes you work and you stay in your bubble, and getting out of it and breaking through it is that's what education is, and it comes in all forms and sizes, and I think that's probably the best thing is the camaraderie.
It's really an exciting opportunity to be in the same room with so many different people from so many different organizations, both municipal and nonprofit here on Cape Cod, and then we have a few students who are not on Cape Cod. But it's really been a great experience to sort of get together with those guys every Friday morning for the better part of the last year, and sort of hear their experiences, share our experiences, and that's probably one of the biggest things that I have enjoyed about the class is getting to know these folks and building a network of other.
I purposely placed myself at a table that did not have all town of Barnstable people, and into a group that was sort of a variety of people from different types of towns. And I'm really glad I did that, because I have grown to have an appreciation of what it's like to manage a very small town such as Truro. You have to wear so many different hats, and the challenges are different than working in a larger town such as Barnstable, but equally as challenging.
But I think what this did was, after 16 years of being here at Town Hall, in a position that's kind of close enough to the top to see how things work, it gave a sort of backbone and structure to the concepts that I guess I knew, but I kind of understood them, and now I have that scientific structure and educational backbone to it, so I know what to call it, and I can recognize things, and it's helped me kind of reshape my vision of where I plan to be for the next 20 years.
Just thank them all very, very much. They're all obviously brilliant in their respective fields, and sharing that knowledge with us has been awesome.